No, it's getting hard. It's getting hard. I'm running out of options.
Maybe one more, just one more.
Okay, well, I'll give you one more.
Yeah.
This will be a little bit of experiment, but Tung Dua Mam Tom.
This is the most interesting part, I think.
Now, Mam Tom is not for everybody, but you shouldn't come to Vietnam just to stay inside your comfort zone. You know, step out of your comfort zone and really try some things.
Hey guys, welcome back to Nguyen channel, and today is Saturday, and you know what happened? Again, we're gonna have another episode in English, and I will continue my series about expats in Saigon. And our guest today is a very special one. Not only is he an expat, but he's a very successful YouTuber.
Oh man, that's a big praise and a big intro. We'll try to live up to that.
Alright. Yeah, so guys, this is Max.
What's going on, y'all? It's Max here with My Kind of Eats, a YouTube channel. It's all about food and traveling, and right now, very specifically, Vietnam and the Vietnamese cuisine.
Yeah, that's so cool. You know, it's my honor to have you in the show today, and thank you so much for coming.
No, thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited.
Yeah, let's get started with the very first question. This is my favorite questions to ask. Right? Where do you come from, and why you ended living in Vietnam?
Oh, okay, that's a good one. So, you know, I'm from Arkansas, so I'm from America. I grew up on a farm.
On a farm?
Yeah, so very small place. I'm talking, I graduated high school with 29 people.
Wow.
So very, very small. I didn't know there was a world out there. But I always kind of had Vietnam in my life. So at my dad's job, there was a Vietnamese man.
Yeah.
His name was Thai. He spoke no English, but I was always fascinated with Thai.
Yeah.
And so I knew I always wanted to go to Vietnam.
Yeah.
So about 2 years ago, I came to Vietnam for the first time. Came to Saigon, and I really loved it.
Yeah.
You know, I've only been to Saigon and Hanoi, but just something about Saigon felt like home to me. So I decided I wanted to base myself out of Saigon once I could afford it.
I see.
And beginning this year, I was able to afford it, and now I've been based here, and well,
That's cool,
you know,
right?
the rest is history.
Yeah. So, is Vietnam your first destination in Asia, or before Vietnam you have been to other Asian countries?
Actually, Vietnam was my third. It was my third country in Asia. So yeah,
Really?
yeah, because I lived
Yeah.
in Hong Kong. I flew to Hong Kong, and worked. Before Vietnam, I actually went up to China. Yeah, and so since I was right there, anyways.
Yeah.
And so it was actually my third, but now it's my home.
Yeah, that's cool. I love the way you say that, like Vietnam is your home now.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I live here. People like, you know, you call me an expat, but I try to be a local.
Yeah.
You know, try to be local as much as I can.
All right, talking a little bit about your business as a full-time YouTuber yourself, right?
Right.
Yep. So when did you actually start your YouTube channel?
About 2 years ago, actually. May would have been right at 2 years. It's not always made me enough money, so I knew I wanted to do something like this many years in advance. So I actually worked for 3 years saving money, saving money, saving money, saving money.
Right.
And then when I was in Hong Kong, while I was still working, I finally started it. Last year, I jumped off and I tried doing it full time. Definitely was not making money.
Yeah.
I was just slowly eating through my savings until maybe one day I could make it.
Yeah.
And thank goodness now, well, we're okay.
Yeah. So now you have like 100 something like subscribers for the channel.
Right at 150.
Wow.
Just passed it.
It's
yeah,
good.
150,000.
Yeah. Well, there's the fact that it's really competitive when it's come to YouTube, right? YouTube, right? Especially when you are really focusing on food, review, things like that, right? There's like tons of people out there doing the same thing. What do you think are the factors that have you successful in your way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think being open-minded, and then I'm always open to learning. I never tell anybody like I know a lot,
Right.
because to me I'm definitely not a Vietnamese food expert.
Yeah.
But I'll go to the depths, I'll go deep into markets, I'll go deep into locals, and just try to have an open mind and just try to learn as much as I can. To me, it's just like let the Vietnamese people tell the story. I'm just showcasing it.
Interesting.
Yeah, just giving you my experience, what it's truly like here. Because a lot of times you get a lot of people who do the same thing over and over again. So try to find something different, unique, and maybe what Vietnam cuisine is really like. You know, it's not all pho, it's not all banh mi. There's a lot more out there.
Yeah.
So I try to showcase that.
That's interesting. I think that's a very, very good approach.
Yeah.
As a as a person who doesn't understand much about the local culture,
Right.
cuisine. Yeah, that is very respectful, and I think anyway it's a very good approach.
Yeah, definitely. Or always have somebody on my channel. Like somebody who can speak the local language or just knows more.
Right.
Mine's more about experience. You're coming with me.
Yeah.
More than like, hey, this is what it's like.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, thank you so much for choosing Vietnam, your base, your
My pleasure.
destination. Yeah, do you think that you're gonna live here for a longer time, like for long term,
Yeah,
living?
I would actually love to. The thing comes down for me is money. So I do have to travel to other countries, and unfortunately, right now I can't afford an apartment plus the travel. But I would like to get to the point in the day where I could always have somewhere in Saigon. I would love to have always a home base in Saigon.
Right.
But right now, financially not possible. But maybe in the future, I'd love that.
Yeah, I think you don't have to really worry much about that because your channel is growing really dramatically. You should be really positive and confident about that.
Right.
Okay. Well, let's talk about food, right?
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, why
I'm good
not?
at
It
it.
is your main thing, right? You have been here for like one year.
No, I've been here since 10, so about
Since
4 or
the-
5 months.
Just 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
It's not a really long time, but I think like 4 or 5 months, I think it's quite good enough for you to actually
Right.
experience something basically about Vietnamese cuisine, right? So among so many types of food that you feature so far in your videos, which one give you the most unforgettable impression? Something that you like the most?
Wow, I think for me it's not just the food, it's always the experience. So for me, like, this is gonna sound almost cliche because I think a lot of people would say it,
Right.
but it's just when you go and have snails. You're on the side of the road, you're drinking, you're surrounded by locals and friends, and it's an experience to be remembered, You go around 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I've been out till 3 a.m. before.
Yeah.
It's more than food, it's an actual experience where you connect with
Experience.
others.
Interesting.
And so, like, I've gone with a lot of locals, and it's just so much fun when you get there and you truly feel like a local. Like, you feel like you are
Yeah.
Vietnamese almost.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Yeah. So basically, it's not about the food itself, but it's about the experience that you have while enjoying the food, seeing people, and
Yeah.
observing things around.
I'm with my friends who are locals who take me, who show me, this is what they do, this is how they like to go and
Yeah.
how they like to celebrate.
Cool.
So you're really participating in the, the local activities.
So I would love to be in one of the videos later on, as if you are a local partner.
Come on. I'm always looking for people.
All right. Well, I think it's gonna be really interesting for those who have not come to Vietnam.
Right,
Visit, right?
okay.
So can you give a list of, let's say, like 3 or 5 must-try dishes in Vietnam that they should try in Vietnam?
So do we need to keep it to Saigon, or we will all
Maybe all Vietnam, or
Okay. For me, I think this is the ultimate noodle is bún bò Huế.
Wow, this is my favorite too.
Yes,
Yeah.
I love bún bò Huế. Everybody says pho, but like I love bún bò Huế. When it's done correctly and it has that little golden shine on it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I love bún bò Huế. It's almost like comfort food to me. Something that like I can eat every day. Again, another very obvious one here.
Right.
Banh mi. Gotta have
Banh
banh mi.
mi,
Gotta
yeah.
have banh mi.
Definitely.
It's just something where you've got to try. But banh mi is so much more than, the big cold cuts. It's stuffed. It's filled. There's hundreds of banh mi's you can get out here and try.
Yes.
There's gonna be 3 or 4 in every block. So get out there and really experiment and find a banh mi that you like. For me, I'm a pate and egg sucker. 3, you gotta have the broken rice here. You can't come to Vietnam and not have a rice meal. And for me, it's broken rice. The texture,
Yep.
with somebody that does a great Nuoc Mam sauce,
That's right.
and then a perfect grilled pork chop, or even better, I love the pork ribs. It's just an unforgettable meal. You're really eating with locals. You're going to see a lot of Grab drivers. You're going to see a lot of Now drivers. You're going to see Go Viet, all in places like this, getting their broken rice,
Yeah.
for their lunch break.
Yeah.
4. Now it's getting hard. I'm running out of options.
Maybe one more. Just one more.
Okay, well, I'll give you one more.
Yeah.
This will be a little bit of experiment, but Bún đua mắm tôm.
This is the most interesting part, I think.
Now, Mem Tom is not for everybody, but you shouldn't come to Vietnam just to stay inside your comfort zone. You know, step out of your comfort zone and really try some things.
So can you explain a little bit about mom tom to the audience?
Mom
So
tom.
what is that?
Mom tom is essentially a fermented shrimp paste. You see it here in the south. If you're in the central, you maybe see mom nem, which is the same thing,
Yes.
but with fish. And so what it is it's going to be this. It's just a unique color. It's so purple. It's as purple as some of the color of my shirt here.
And the smell?
And the smell, I think it smells good. Some people you're gonna think you walked into a sailor's deck or something. I mean, it's a strong sea smell.
Right.
Some people can't handle it, but put your calamansi in it, put some oil in it, put some chilies, and you can dip various things in it. You can get the bone noodles, which are just the rice noodles. You can get the fried tofu. You can get pork. You can get various things you can dip in it. Start with a little touch of it and slowly add to it. But I think it's something you should try.
Yeah. Okay, guys, so let's listen again to the 5 must-try dishes in Vietnam, according to Max. So firstly, bún bò, right?
Bún bò Huế.
Right.
Yeah.
Second, cơm tấm.
Cơm tấm.
Broken rice. Yeah. And the third one is
Gotta have a banh mi.
bánh mì, right?
You do banh mi.
Yeah.
And then I just try mâm tom anyway. You can put it
mâm
in your
tôm.
bún riêu. You
Yeah.
can have it bún qua mâm tom. Many ways you can have it.
Right.
Oh, then you gotta have snails. You gotta do
Yeah,
snails.
snail, right.
I can't highlight snails and say not go to snails.
Well, I could agree with Max for the last dish. Like snail is something really stand for, you know, street food in Saigon, right? So here in Saigon, in Saigon, when you think of like something really significant for street food,
Right.
they would immediately think of snail.
Well,
Yeah.
think about mainly Sundays because most people have the day off.
Yes.
You go around the afternoon. What will you see everybody doing? They're going to be out on the street, and everybody's going to have their own type of snail.
Yeah.
Or maybe chicken feet. But it's what people eat. It's what people do to have a get together. It's how people connect and become family here in Vietnam.
Yeah. All right. Okay, that's really cool to listen about the stories of your experience about the food in Vietnam and your experience about life here. But there is still one question that I like to ask
Okay.
you. Okay.
Okay.
Well, going to a new country like Vietnam, right? You are step inside a new, totally different culture.
Right.
Right. So, have you ever experienced any ties that culturally awkward moments? You know, when talking to people or interacting with local people.
Yeah, you know, I think it speaks to the Vietnamese people. If you put an effort, if you show like you care, and I don't care how bad your Vietnamese is, if you'll just try, they're going to give you a smile and they're going to help you.
Yeah.
You know, that's my experience 99% of the time.
Yeah.
Now, what's been awkward is when I do try to speak Vietnamese, and then I'm saying the wrong word and I say like some really dirty word, and they start dying laughing.
Come on. Come on.
But I wouldn't have it any other way. No, as long as you respect them and you show you care and you put forth the effort,
Yeah.
man, they're just gonna like, we got you. You come here. We'll take care of you.
Yeah.
So it's been great, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I know that like you are like language lover, right?
Right.
You did learn a couple of languages so far, right?
Right,
So
yeah.
what are they? Like Chinese?
Yeah, Chinese, Japanese,
Japanese.
and of course English is my mother tongue. I speak baby bits of other languages.
Yes.
But clearly my Vietnamese is not there yet.
You will be better, guys.
I'll get better. Give me about a year and we'll be good.
All right. So guys, I do understand the feeling of a foreigner, you know, being laughed by local people when he or she try to speak Vietnamese. Well, this is something that I want to share with you deeply from my
Okay.
heart, Max. I don't know whether other Vietnamese people think, but for me personally, when I see a foreigner trying to speak our mother tongue, I really appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's felt, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, everybody tries super hard to speak English to me, and I'm just like, I always try to reply in Vietnamese and just Vietnamese and Vietnamese and Vietnamese
Yeah.
until they're like, okay, we got you.
Yeah, you see, that's the way we learn languages, right, guys? If you're trying to learn Vietnamese, so just keep it up. It's just exactly the same way that we non-English people trying to learn English from the very first day, right? So don't be shy, don't be ashamed, don't be.
Look, if you pronounce something wrong, you're just going to make somebody laugh. They're not going to get angry at you, and at the end of the day, they're going to appreciate your effort.
Not true.
And trust me, I've never talked to a Vietnamese person who's not said, Vietnamese is a hard language. That's what they all say. They know.
All right. So if I give you a test, like
Right.
now, pick one Vietnamese expression, maybe one word, or maybe a phrase, or
Okay.
a whole sentence that you feel most confident to talk about. So, what would it be? Can you say something in Vietnamese?
No,
No pressure.
It's very big pressure, but like I think what I learned mainly is like survival Vietnamese. So like I'll say like what's this or like
Okay.
cái này là cái gì.
Very good.
Yeah. And so it kind of helps me if they may reply and you may not know, but for me I'm trying to learn about food. So I know food terms. So I know if they say like bop, I'm like, oh, okay, it's beef.
That's
You know,
right.
if they say some type of noodle, I'm like, oh, it's this type of noodle. So for me, cái này là cái gì is a very, very useful term.
Very good.
Yeah. Or tiền tiền.
Tính tiền, yeah.
That's a big
Give me
one.
the bill.
Yeah, give me the bill. That is the one you can use anywhere.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm talking Go Viet, whether you just order food, you can always use that. That's so useful.
All right.
And you'll seem like a local because some people will tell you like bao nhiêu, maybe say tiền tiền, you'll come off as a local.
Yeah. I think you do a very good catch up with Vietnamese. I
Right.
think that you're gonna be very good at Vietnamese. So
Well, let's hope.
believe yourself. Guys, again, if you're interested in learning more about Max and his channel, please make sure to subscribe his channel. So what is it again?
Yeah, so my channel name is My Kind of Eats, or you can find me with my name, Max McFarlin, whatever's easiest to find.
Right. Okay. So again, thank you so much,
No,
Max,
thank you so much for having me on.
for coming and to be in the video with me today. I hope the audience is gonna love it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're gonna gain more fans from Vietnam for your channel.
Hey, let's hope, you know, nothing else I'm doing what I love. I hope the Vietnamese are just proud of what I put out there.
Yes. Thank you so much, because I think that what you have done so far for your videos is also the contribution
Yeah.
to Vietnam as well, because people get to know more about Vietnam, Vietnamese food, Vietnamese culture in general. So
That's what it's all about, man. If I can give back something where the Vietnamese are proud and people can learn about Vietnam, then I'm happy.
that's really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, come on.
Alright, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching my channel. And for those who have not subscribed to my channel, and if you like the content that I giving you guys, you can consider subscribing. And see you next time. Bye, guys.
Ciao.